What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're going to be going over 5 of the biggest print-on-demand mistakes, okay? Before we get into it, I want to just give a shout out to yesterday's video. If you didn't go see yesterday's video, it's a free 1-hour course from creating the design, to uploading the design, to tagging onto the design, to even doing the marketing after the design. If you didn't see that full entire video, I highly recommend you go ahead and check it out. Today's video is going to be like a guided video, but yesterday's video was a click-by-click tutorial. So if you're interested in the click-by-click tutorials, after you watch this video, you get inspired, you get motivated, head over to that video for some click-by-click guides. All right, so let's head over into today's video, 5 of the biggest print-on-demand mistakes, okay? So let's go ahead and get into number 1, lack of respect for the print-on-demand platform. Guys, in terms of numbers, this is probably number 1 for everybody. Well, not everybody, but most of the people who get into print-on-demand. Let's be honest. The first time you get into a certain platform, there are policies, there are rules behind that platform. And if you don't operate based on those rules, they will ban you. They will remove you, and you could even be permanently banned from those platforms. The reality is it's generally because we lack respect for the actual platform. So how can we actually gain some respect for the platform, or gain respect in the platform's eyes as sellers? Well, we have to respect them back. The first thing we need to do is we need to make sure we don't break the rules. I mean, if they say straight out, don't do this or don't do that, we got to make sure we don't do it. I mean, there's so many people who are breaking the rules without them even knowing. And that comes into the next part, which is, you got to make sure you read the policies beforehand. It's very important. I didn't do this, and I made these mistakes, right? The only reason I could sit here and talk about these mistakes is because I made them, right? So getting multiple works removed off the platform is an example of not respecting the platform. You want to be intuitive. You want to figure out, okay, what is it that I'm doing that's causing issues here? Is it the keywords that I'm using? Is it, the title that I'm using? You want to look into these things. Is it what I'm doing? Am I copying and pasting? Is it just not right? What am I doing exactly that's causing issues? You want to be intuitive. You don't want to just leave it up to luck. You don't want one day you try to log into your account, it's banned and blocked like a whole lot of other people. Right? Now, this happens on Teepublic, this happens on Redbubble, on Zazzle, on Etsy, on all these different platforms. And then what people do is they think that the platform is the wrongdoing. No, you got to realize that the platform own the platform. So you don't even have to do anything wrong. If they don't want you on the platform, they'll remove you. And these guys, they don't negotiate, guys. It's not like you could just go and apologize and everything will be better. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. In fact, it's very, very rare that actually does work that way. So if you had an account suspended before, realize that you have to go back and you have to see what you're doing wrong so that you do not copy the same mistake over and over into your newer accounts. Okay? So utilizing copyrighted terms is just an example of something that people frequently do that they don't think is copyrighted, they don't know is copyrighted, but they use those terms anyways. Next thing you know, their account is deleted without them knowing. And these guys, they don't send a sorry message. They don't say, hey, sorry, your account was closed. They don't say that, right? Because the way they look at it is that you're causing problems for them. And so they're not going to keep somebody on their platform who's causing problems. So they just get rid of you. And so the thing is guys, this is a harsh world. But the reality is ignorance of the law is no excuse. Just because you didn't know doesn't mean that it's not going to, make a difference. So do the research, sit down, read the policies, figure out everything that you need to do beforehand, and figure out, most importantly, what's causing issues if something is causing you issues right now. Let's get to number 2. Thinking that I need sales now, all right? It's not you basically not thinking that it's a marathon. I always say it's a brick-by-brick process. If you're trying to build a building, if you're starting to think in your head that this building needs to be built right here, right now, in the next 15 minutes, the bricks that you lay, you're not going to just do the process. You're not going to do the process perfectly. And at the end of the day, guys, print on demand is a marathon. It's an everyday kind of process. If you're trying to reach a goal every day, I'm telling you, you're not going to enjoy your life. If you say, I need to hit X amount of dollars by X date, I'm telling you, that's not fun. You're not going to enjoy yourself. What I actually say is, thinking that you need sales now is probably actually going to hurt you, and I'll explain. When you need sales now, when you need that fast money, that quick money, you're probably going to do things that don't align with the platform, right? whether it be a policy that they have, whether it be the type of designs that they're looking for, whatever the case may be, it will get you banned, or it might get you banned if you do things that they don't appreciate. Now, let's be honest, people that want to get rich quick, well, they do stuff like this, right? The people that copycat, for example, everybody doesn't like the copycats on Redbubble, those copycat accounts, right? What are they doing? They're copying other people because they want fast money. That fast money is going to get them eventually banned, right? This idea that that there's quick money is unrealistic unless you've had tons of experience, like I said, or extremely high IQ. It's one or the other. When you see people in 30 days, I made $57,000 in 30 days, right? The reality is that's highly unlikely, once again, unless they have tons of experience from before then, or they have, is either completely a lie, tons of experience, or they're just Elon Musk level IQ. So, I mean, the reality is, guys, is that there's no mysteries in print on demand. We all know the facts. The more you upload is the more results you get. The harder you work, the more results you get. The more you do the right things, the more results you get. There's no mysteries here, guys. And so if you want to be that next person in the line to success, take it brick by brick, step by step. Take it as a marathon. Don't take it as a sprint. Don't try to be focused on finishing the race early. There's no win in that. But if you take enjoy the process, if you take the process throughout the long road, you're going to really enjoy it a lot better. And it's going to create more income for you later down the road without any heartache and issues. The issue is that you're rushing into getting into more sales. Let's be honest. Majority of us are this way. We rush to get our next sale. We rush to get that next sale. And we get mad if we're not getting any sales. But the reality is the sales reflect our work. And so what we should now focus on is being extremely patient with our sales, but being extremely impatient with our hard work. So we increase that hard work. We do the hard work now, right? We don't hold back on doing the work. We do as much work as we can, but we're patient on the results because we know that the results, they're cumulative. The work has to add up to actually amount to something. All right, so that's number 2. Mistake number 3 is not investing into the best print-on-demand tools. I'll be honest, I did this in the beginning. And for me, it wasn't even print-on-demand, it was white labeling. I created a clothing company back in the day. It was my very first business. And I was designing designs that go on hoodies, go on t-shirts in the fitness space. And I was using GIMP. It was a free software. It was all I knew about at the time. But then again, that was all I had in my budget. Now, had I used more expensive softwares, and when I say expensive, I just mean things that are more premium that cost money. It doesn't have to be something that's ridiculously expensive. But use something that works for you. And something that I said here is that, not everybody's tool. Like, for example, somebody might love GIMP, and that's perfectly fine for them. Great. Somebody else might like a different tool. Somebody else might like a different tool. I would say go with what works for you, but always look for something that's going to help improve your production, right? For me, I was not scared, but I just was holding back on investing because a lot of the issues that I had when I first started in business was, lack of funds, lack of income. But had I utilized softwares that I was more comfortable with, that were a little bit more premium, a little bit more user-friendly, I could have done the work faster. I could have been more productive faster. Now, I took this ability and I went straight on to print on demand by just straight up investing in the right things. And the right things are different for everybody, right? There are some softwares that work for some people, and there are some softwares that won't work for other people. Like for me personally, I personally don't use Photoshop, but a lot of people watching this may use Photoshop. I mean, I'm not really sure, what's what, but I'm just telling you guys that different softwares work for different people. I'm not insinuating a certain software here. I'm not saying that you should go with X and Y or over Z. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I'm just saying that don't let your success be held back by not doing the investment, by not investing in the best tools, by not investing in the best softwares for you, right? It's different for everybody, but this slowed me down dramatically. I remember in the beginning when I was creating certain designs and things like that, like I said, in my white label journey, I was struggling. Working hours trying to get like a single design done. And it was hard for me. right? I wasn't, an expert. I didn't know how to use the tools optimally. Now, yes, could I have taken a course and things like that? I absolutely could have, but at the time, I didn't think of that, and there wasn't really things like that that existed at that time as much. So for me, it was difficult, and like I said, I attribute that to not investing into the best tools. I compared it to, essentially when you're driving and you're driving with the parking brake on. That's really how it's like. Like, yes, both vehicles are moving, but one vehicle is moving at a much greater speed because there's no brake. There's no brakes on the vehicle. The other one, the parking brake is on. I mean, if you guys ever drove with the parking brake on, you know what I'm talking about. There's screeching, there's squeaking, there's loud sounds. The car feels like there's something pulling it back. It's really the same thing. When you're trying to save every single penny, and you think that you're gaining something by doing that, you're really not, because the amount of time that it takes to utilize something that costs more, you can produce hundreds of results in the amount of time to create one design on something that's free. And this goes for everything, by the way. Like, for the people that use Instagram, by the way, the reason why I don't do with the Instagram, I'll just go ahead and show you guys. The reason why I don't do the manual activity on Instagram, like, for example, the reason why I'm not going to go to this person's account and go over here and then click follow, and do this is because it's not, optimal for my time. It doesn't really make sense. And this is just in terms of software. You guys could do this with whatever setup you want. That's why I use the Instagram bots, for example. It's just different for everybody. So it's up to you guys what you want to do, but this is just my recommendation. Everything is dramatically slower. When you're trying to save every penny, that's just the reality. And the reality is if you're making money properly, you're going to be willing to reinvest. I mean, I know that a lot of people might have some hard times, but the reality is if you're successful in business, if you're doing well in print on demand, you're going to have the income to reinvest. So that comes back to the earlier steps, which is, not thinking it's a sprint, it's a marathon, making the money, working up the progress, abiding by the policies, etc. So let's go ahead into the next one, is not visualizing where you want to be. So I'll be honest, this is not something that's written in books on print on demand. In fact, nobody talks about this, not a single person, at least not that I know of. But something that I would do frequently in my early business journey, and trust me, guys, when I was doing business, it wasn't print on demand in the beginning. I maybe wish it was. I really don't know, but it wasn't print on demand. I had to create a website from scratch. I had to build certain things. I had to, talk to manufacturers overseas, all this stuff. But when I first started, something that I would frequently do, and nobody told me to do this, but I would do this all the time, is that I would picture myself. I would picture myself, and I would picture what life would be like once I get to the certain point that I was going to get to. And what I would do, and this was the mistake that I was doing, is I would live in that a little bit too much. But me picturing it, what it did to me was it inspired me. It motivated me. And every time I felt down, every time I felt lack of motivation, and every time I had some hardship, and this was a period within the first 3 years, guys, I was really struggling mentally, right? Even though I had some success along the road, I was still struggling mentally. And during that process, every single time I started doing the visualization, right? And I'm not talking about law of attraction or manifesting or any of that stuff. I'm not talking about any of that. I would just simply picture myself. I would say, man, do I want to be the guy that, works for somebody one day? I don't want to be that. I don't want to be the guy who comes out of college and is begging people for a job. I don't want to do that. And so I would picture myself in the situation where I wanted to be. And the more I would picture myself, I would ask myself, okay, what will it take to get there? And I would tell myself, the guy who is in that position right now, that successful position, he wouldn't be quitting right now. He wouldn't be failing right now. He wouldn't be going out with friends right now. He would be focusing on his work. And that's exactly what I did. And I created like a little cycle message here. It says visualizing where you want to be leads to getting inspired and motivated. Inspiration and motivation leads to greater work production. Greater work production leads to greater results. And greater results most likely leads to you getting closer to where you want to be. So it's a cycle approach. The more you visualize, the more motivated you get. The more motivated you get, the more work you do. The more work you do, the more results you have. The more results you have, the closer you are to where you want to be. And it just continues over and over and over again. But a lot of people who are in this journey, I'm going to be honest, it's a journey, guys. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You're going to have to climb up that mountain. It's going to be tough. You're going to fatigue. You're going to get tired. But during that process, you have to find ways to inspire yourself. Because I'm going to be honest, there are going to be some dark times. I'm sure that, print on demand is different than other businesses, but the reality is it's not a walk in the park. And it doesn't matter what business you do, you're going to come up with struggles, and everybody's going to have struggles, and that's normal. And in fact, if you don't have struggles in business, maybe you're a superhuman, because I know I did. I know I had a ton of struggles, and the struggles were very, very dark, very tough times, but the reality is that those certain struggles that you have, you can ask yourself, all the work that I did previously, everything that I've worked on in the past, will it be squandered? Will it be wasted away because of this moment right now that I don't want to do any more work? I don't want to succeed anymore? Because make no mistake, guys, habits form. When you choose to give up that day, when you choose to not work anymore, when you choose not to do anything, because make no mistake, it is a choice. When you choose not to, you're now developing a habit in the wrong direction. Right? You want to progress forward, not backwards. And every day that you're not working, you're not stagnating. You're not staying the same. No, you're going downhill. So as entrepreneurs, as business people, whatever you want to call us, online hustlers, money makers online, whatever you want to call us, we're focused on making money. And the only way we can do that is we need to be able to produce, right? Consumers are not going to be willing to give their cash over unless they receive value in return. Well, that value is something that you're going to create. Yes, you, the person listening to this, you're going to create that value by sitting down on the computer and struggling. And yes, your brain is going to hurt you. Yes, you're going to have headaches. Yes, maybe you'll work for months without any results, but it's worth it. I'm telling you it's worth it, because you're going to get to a certain point where you're going to feel comfortable doing what you're doing, and you're going to get better, and you're going to beat the competition because you put in more hours than everybody else. All right, let's go into the next one. And the next one is number 5, not creating a routine/system of success. Something that I noticed, guys, out of all the people that were successful, when I was researching like how to be successful when I was younger, I would see different people like Elon Musk. I would see people like Steve Jobs. I would, rest in peace. I would see all these different successful people, and it seemed like they all had some sort of strategy, some sort of routine, some sort of system, right? And they would repeat the system every single day. And so with print on demand, there's less fires that you have to put out. And I'm comparing this to general business. When you run an actual company with employees, with systems and things like that, there's a lot more fires that you have to put out. There's a lot more problems that arise. I remember there was a good period of time for about 2 years straight when I was running one of my businesses. It was like a new problem every single day, a new significant problem every single day, literally. And I felt like it was stopping or impeding on my growth moving forward. But these were just things that came up and I had to deal with them. The point is that we're lucky. Print on demand is not a type of like fire type business. It's all based on production. You're not going to run into too many problems with print on demand unless you get banned, of course, or something like that. But that's a completely different scenario, which relates back to one of the earlier ones, which is lack of respect for the platform. But there's less fires that you have to put out. And so with your system here for step number 5 or mistake number 5 of not creating a routine/system, it's much easier to do that with print on demand. You have to be able to decide what success is for you, not for everybody else. Like for me, doing what's right and doing what's good for Redbubble, for example, is 60 designs per day. Not everybody's going to agree with that. Not everybody's going to do it, but that doesn't matter because that's what I personally do. You might have a different system. You might have a different routine. For you, it might be consistently doing 2 designs per day. Listen, nobody's judging you. It's a judge-free zone over here. Shout out Planet Fitness, but it's a judge-free zone, right? You do what you're able to do. So if you say, my goal is to just stick to a design a day, 1 design a day, every day for the next 30 days. That's amazing. That's an amazing goal to have. Why? Because it's better than what you used to be. And so you have to design what success means to you, right? But I want to be clear on what success is. Success isn't a result, guys. That's not what success is. Because a lot of people will picture, when I say define what success is, they might define success as a Lamborghini. They might define success as a mansion. That's not success. That is the result of the success. That's not actually the success. The success is doing the actual work. So you have to measure success in terms of a work, an input. So whether it be 5 hours of work a day, an hour of work a day, 5 designs a day, 1 design a day, finishing this course, reading a book, or whatever the case may be. But it has to be a work related input kind of thing. It can't be a result like $10 a day. Like, it can't be that. It has to be a work related aspect. So next time you want to define success, you say, okay, my success means to me, let's say, it's not going to be a number. It's not going to be a cash number like $250,000 a year. No, it's not going to be like that. It's going to be 10 hours of work a day, right? Like that's what it's going to do. As opposed to what you're receiving, it's about what you're doing, right? So focus on what you're doing, focus on the output. That's how you define success. And then what you do is from that goal point, from that goalpost of that certain success level or the amount of work that you need to do, you want to create a realistic and logical system that you can actually stick to get there, okay? And the reason why I say realistic and logic is because if you guys remember, I put out a video not too long ago. It was about the iron rules. I don't know if you guys remember that video. Okay, I don't just make videos just to make videos. These are things that I actually step on and I focus on, and I stand behind. One of the iron rules, if you guys remember, was getting 1% better every single day. A lot of people try to change the world overnight. This is the reality. They want to go from broke to rich overnight. I mean, I've had days before where I said, you know what? I'm going to crack the code tonight no matter what. I'm not sleeping. I'm getting this thing done. I'm doing, I was just being manic. The reality is that's not realistic. If you want real success, if you want something that you can be proud of and that you can show off to your family and friends in the future, what you really need to do is you need to create a logical and realistic system to actually get to the amount of work as the goal that you have. So remember, I keep success as the amount of work. So for example, if you measure success 2 hours of work a day, okay? All right, well, what's a realistic and logical system that you can perform 2 hours of work a day? If you know that you have kids, if you know that you have a system going on, maybe doing 1 hour before they wake up is a realistic system, and then 1 hour before they go to bed. Maybe doing an hour during their lunch break and 1 hour before they wake up. There's whatever it is, whatever the system is irrelevant. It just matters that you have to actually have a system that you can logically stick to. That's not a struggle for you. And the reality is when you have that system, success becomes easier. Have you ever noticed, guys, the people that walk around the gym and they're in great shape and they're fit and they're strong and they're healthy and they look great? Those people, they have a system, right? They have a certain muscle group that they're working out. They have a certain cardio regimen. They have a certain food regimen. They have these systems to get them into a certain place. And lastly, you got to do it every day. So those fitness guys at the gym and all this, they're not doing it once a month. They're not doing it once a year. They're doing it every single day. There's no days off, right? And so if you want print on demand to be your method of success, you want it to be your, story to fame, your story of how it changed your life, then it's something you're going to have to stick to every single day. And to be 100% honest, guys, and I'm just going to be honest with you, it shouldn't be a struggle to do this every day. And the reason why I say that is because you have to find something that you can deal with and tolerate and do every single day in order to become that level of success. For some people, it's not going to be print on demand. That's the reality. For other people, it might. So, for example, for all you gym goers, for everybody who goes to the gym right now, for example, if I ask you, can you go to the gym every day? Most of you would say, yeah, I could go to the gym easily every day. Well, it's the same for print on demand. You got to be able to do it every single day, right? There's no vacations. There's no days off. I know people who still go to the gym even on vacation, right? Because it's who they are. It's in their identity. It's in their genes. It's not their genes. It's who they are, right? They've implanted that in their DNA. It's who they are. You just can't take it away from them. It's like people who eat every day. Don't you eat every day? Yeah, you probably do. You probably eat something every single day, right? It's who you are. It's how you function. It's what you need. It's the same thing for step number 5 is that you do it every day. Remember, you get the goal, and the goal is measured in the amount of work, right? It's not based on the result. It's not based on the Lamborghini, the nice watch, whatever it is. It's not based on that. It's based on the amount of work, right? You take a system, you create a system, a logical and realistic system that will actually get you there. And most importantly, you do that system every single day. All right, guys, so these are the 5 mistakes. Just to go over it: lack of respect for the platform, thinking that you need sales now, not investing in the print-on-demand tools that are actually going to speed up your time as opposed to waste your time, not visualizing where you want to be, and lastly, not creating a routine/system of success that you can follow every day. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Bye.